Welcome back to my channel. I am starting a new journal. Actually, I told you guys that I was trying to finish up two projects that were on my desk before I moved. And so I finished the Sherlock journal for my mom's birthday, and this is the journal that I would like to finish. I have the cover already done. It's in this beautiful fabric. And I left the edges all frayed because I just love that look. And the inside is just kind of a mishmash of pages. I had gone to, like, we have this antique mall out here in Phoenix called the Brass Armadillo, and like everybody that sells there has like booths and stuff. And so there's a lady there who has a booth that has like vintage items and paper and things like that. And she just had put some papers together in a collection that matched and went together. And so I have used all of those to make this journal because I've had them sitting. And so there's some dark pages and light pages. I used some music papers and I've sewn this signature in. I've got this beautiful image here. Just some random things that I had sitting around. I've got a little coloring page and what else did I put in here? This was a piece of ephemera that I've already made. I did do a tutorial on this, I think. And I've got a paper bag and just beautiful papers. So where I'm at is I was playing around and I wanted to show you guys this process because this turned out so cute. I made this pocket last night as I was playing around, and this was a window envelope. I've done another one. I've just kind of cut it down to size here, and I wanted to put in here just because these papers are so cute, and I've got a lot of images in my stash of vintage kids images, children's images, and so I used the window envelope, cut it down, did this little piece that shows through the window, covered the outer parts, and I glued the whole thing together. So this is sealed. So this is not a pocket. I'm going to use it as a pocket. So I sealed the whole thing down and then stitched around. And I want to show you guys how I did that today because I just think this turned out super cute. So what I've done is cut down. This was just a piece of mail that I got from Honda, and it came like this. So I looked at the width of my page because I want a second one in this book. So I thought I'll just film this because I wanted to do another one for the book, for the journal. So what I've done is I just kind of looked at how wide I need it to fit on a page. This one I'm going to use on the inside front cover. So it needed to be a little narrower because the inside front cover is bigger than a page. So I just trimmed it down to the size that I needed, leaving the window. Okay, so now let's get to work. So I've chosen just an image that I've cropped down. This was a lot bigger, so I lost like their legs in the image and stuff, but really I just wanted their faces. They were just so adorable. And I'm going to use the same papers I used in this one because I loved how it looked together. So I've got this paper that's going to go on the background right here. And I've cut it to where I don't have to measure anything. I can just glue it right down. So let's do that. And this is super easy. And I always talk about how I love to do easy things that don't take a whole lot of time, but that have a really nice impact in the journal. Those are my favorite things. Okay, so we're just going to glue this down. I want to make sure that it's covering the window, and it is. So I'm just going to glue this down. And now I want to map my image. It makes a huge difference when you mat an image. I want to show you the difference. And we'll do it side by side. So if I just lay this in here just like this, it'll look like that, and that's really cute. Now look at the difference. See, I've got a mat around that image. And it just makes it pop more. It gives the whole thing a little more color. So let's find, and I'm just using, this is my bin. These are the offcuts of paper that I used to make the pages of my journal. So, and I've got index cards in here and some pieces of ephemera that I've already pulled that I want to use. So I'm going to pull from that pile of papers and see what I want to use as a mat. I don't think I have any more of that green. I think it's all gone. And I don't want to use polka dots. I'm going to use this one. That one's pretty cute. Let's use this one. So I'm going to ink around the edges of my image before I glue it down because I want it to have kind of a vintage feel, as I do with most of my journals. I just really love that look of having the edges inked, and it just kind of frames that photo, that image. Okay, so I'm going to just glue this down. And what I'm going to do is line it up in the corners here. This is how I kind of cheat without having to cut out too much stuff. I'm just going to line it up in the corner right here, making sure that I've got equal spacing all the way around. That way I only have to trim 2 sides of it. So I'm just going to trim with my scissors. Trim that out. Okay, and then I'm going to ink the mat so that the mat also has a layer of ink around the edge. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue on this, and then I'm going to kind of place it to the right side, kind of centering it vertically. So I'm going to be ready to stick it down. So it's going to have glue on the back. And I'm going to stand up here. I'm going to kind of place it down. Oh wow, that went down pretty perfectly. This side needs to move up just a little. There we go. Okay, and when it's in the right spot, just glue it down. And I just want to put kind of a vertical stripe from this vertical stripe paper here over on this side. So let me decide what I want. Let's see here. Hi, honey. Hi. How are you? Good. I think I want this dark green right here. So I'm going to tear that off. And then, how much of this do I want? I think I want to the edge of this stripe here. And obviously you can use any paper you want. And this might be too wide. Let's see. It might be a little bit wide, so let me take a little bit off. That's better. Sorry for the rustling around. My daughter just got up and she's making herself breakfast.
That was kind of loud. I'm sorry.
That's okay. And I'm just not going to worry about this. I'm just going to cut it off kind of where the red paper ends here, because I know then that's going to be covered. And I'm going to ink it. And we'll glue that down. Okay, again, just looking on here to see where I want to place it. about right there. That looks good. Kind of press that down. Looks really cute. And now I just want to put some gems right here. So I'm going to clip these. This is a sheet of adhesive. Like, I think they call it diamond wrap. I got it at the Dollar Tree. And I love these because you just cut them apart. I want 5. I find that working in odd numbers looks a lot better. I'm not sure why, but it does. So I'm going to trim off some of the little strings here before I glue it down. And it does have adhesive on the back, but I always, like, I'm going to line it up with the bottom of the image. So I'm going to make sure that I get the right amount of glue down. So I'm going to set it here. I'm just going to put it in the middle here. Oops. I'm going to take the adhesive off the back if I can get it off. I might need my pokey tool. There we go. Nope. There we go. And I'm just going to set that in the glue. Make sure it's straight. And that's what we have so far. Now I'm going to run glue all the way around this side. And I'm just going to glue this together. Now, if you wanted to, you could make the image part itself a pocket, but I just don't want to cover, I don't want to cover the image up. I don't want anything over it. Okay, so let's seal that down. And now we have our little framed image. It's so cute. I love it. I love vintage children's images. I just think this, so that's what we have so far. And now this is closed. So now I'm just going to take some book page and I'm going to, I don't have enough. On the original one that I did, which I can't find now, I put it on my desk somewhere and now it's gone. Oh, here it is. I had coffee dyed book page to go to, and I used coffee dyed book page, which I think looks great, but I don't think that I have any more of that. I'm looking, and I don't think that I have any more coffee dyed book page. So we'll just use regular book page, and we'll just take some ink to it. I'll use this Little Women. So how I'm going to start is I'm just going to take the edges off right to the words. My ruler gap, there's a gap in the middle and it just keeps moving. And I'm going to take these bottom words off just because there's a lot of open space there. And then we're prepared to use this book page. Okay, so what I did was I just held up the book page up here to the edging of the window to the edge of the envelope, and I counted how many lines of text it took. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to cover this bottom. So I'm just going to take these 5 rows of text and tear them off, and we'll just use it just like this. But I'm going to ink around the edges first. And this is the kind of time-consuming part, and I only will really ink on the top edge, just because like I inked there, but I didn't need to. So I'm going to ink around the outside of this once everything's down. So just the top edge. And I need to get rid of this glue book page because it's all gross and yucky. from me working on the first one last night. Okay. Okay, so that's all I do is just kind of measure with the book page that I am using what kind of length and width I need to cover up the edge of that window. And then just lay it down. And now, here we go. I think I'll go, let's see how many lines we need. It looks like about 3 here. And I'm just going to kind of piece this together. And I kind of tore that, but that's okay. Just going to line this part that's going to sit up against, ink this part that's going to sit up against the window. Lay that down. It didn't sit quite straight, but that's okay. Well, we'll put another piece of paper there. So let's do that. So what I'll do is just tear this off about right here. And then I'm going to ink this edge here because it's going to sit on top of this book page. And I won't be able to get to it once I glue it down. So we'll just use another piece, this piece of book page, to cover up the gaps in the previous page here. So let's get that up to the edge here. And so you get kind of like the layered look there, which I think is really nice. Okay, so let's do this side here. And I think we're going to need 3 lines. Yep. Now, this will all fit in one go. So what I want to do is, I don't want it to, the lines to be so straight. So what I'm going to do is just kind of hand tear it to where there's some shape to it, so that when we layer it on there, it doesn't look so pristine. And we'll ink these edges because we won't be able to get to them once it's glued down. So ink whatever edges, that's kind of the rule of thumb I go by, is I just ink the edges that I know I'm not going to be able to get to if I glue that piece of paper down. Okay. So here's this one. And see how nice that looks since it's not just like pristine. Okay, well, we need another one for here. And that was 3 lines on that side. 3 lines of text. And I'm going to put one piece on top here. So I'm going to run this one all the way down. And then I'm going to just kind of hand tear this side here and ink that. Let's glue that down. Okay. And then I want one last kind of little piece right here that I think I'm just going to Now let me, how many lines of text was that? 5. 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. And then I'm going to kind of hand tear the edges like that. And we'll just lay that in. And lay this to hide this last little part. Make sure I get that up where it needs to be. Okay, and now I'm going to take ink and I'm going to ink all the way around the edges, and you can see like right here I've got a little bit of the envelope showing down here a little bit too, and that doesn't bother me because I know the ink's going to hit there, and so you're not going to be able to see that white envelope. See how that hides it? So don't worry if you have a little bit of the envelope showing on the side, because it's gonna, your ink is gonna hide that. And this is the time too, if you want your book page to have a little more of a vintage feel to it. Like I didn't have to do much to the other one because I used coffee dyed book page, but here it's not coffee dyed, so I can just take and just lightly put some ink there to give that kind of a darker feel. There. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is take this to my sewing machine and I'm going to stitch around the outside. So I'll be right back. Hang on one second. Okay, so there we go. What I did was just a couple of rows of some like wonky stitching, and I did that to kind of, number one, it's a kind of children, so it's more carefree, and I feel like matches the theme of it. And plus I wanted to take up some of this space around where the book page was and put something on top of that takes up some of that page, so it wasn't just like book page, book page, book page. Okay, so let's put these 2 pockets into the journal. I just think these turned out so cute. And I do have a space picked out. I wanted this for the inside front cover, this one. So let's just go ahead and glue that down on 3 sides. I'm going to do it inside the zigzag stitch line because I like for that to show. I made it this size so that I could put it on the inside of my zigzag stitching. Really cute. Oh, that looks so cute. Okay, so that's how that looks sitting right there. And then the other one I wanted on the second half of the signature, and I have this really dark brown page, which unless you wrote with like a white gel pen, your writing won't show up all that great. I mean, it will show up if you use a black pen, but I like to put pages in here that are, you know, not good for journaling, because those are the places we can put ephemera. And I thought that this on the brown paper would work really great. And then I thought it looked really, really pretty next to this coffee dyed music paper. I think that makes a great page layout. So let's glue this one in. So you can see that was a Honda envelope. I love doing stuff with junk, like, you know, envelopes. You get those in the mail every single day. So start looking at your envelopes in a different light and what you can do with them, especially the ones that have those big windows, because you can really showcase an image that you really love in that window. This is going to look so cute with a tag in it or a journaling card or something like that. Okay, so I have my first pieces of ephemera into this journal. Okay, in our next video, we'll go ahead and pull some more ephemera for it and decide where we want it and how we want to decorate it. That's how that looks. I just love it next to this music paper, this coffee dyed music paper. Okay, guys, I hope you liked this. I just thought these turned out so cute. What a unique take on a pocket to showcase one of your favorite images. So, as always, have a wonderful day. God bless and stay safe. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.